Okay, so you sent over some research on Ayurveda,
Yep.
right? And heart health,
Yeah.
I think it was,
Hmm.
specifically about how it can help with coronary artery disease,
Yeah.
CAD.
Exactly.
Pretty fascinating stuff. Excited to kind of dive in with you and see what we can find.
Yeah, well, this is interesting because it goes beyond just like general well-being.
Right.
This study from 2024, actually,
Okay.
it was published in the Annals of Clinical Cardiology,
Hmm.
and they looked at how an Ayurveda-based diet and Panchakarma therapy
Mm-hmm.
actually helps stabilize plaque in patients that already had CAD.
Wow. So they actually saw a decrease in plaque volume.
That's right.
That's pretty huge, right?
It is.
Especially considering how prevalent CAD is.
It's a big deal, especially in India.
Mm.
In 2016 alone, there were like 54.5 million cases.
Wow.
It's estimated. And it's a leading cause of death, like globally.
So conventional treatments, they're just not cutting it, huh?
They often have limitations.
Okay.
So that's why this is so compelling.
Right.
Exploring these alternative approaches,
Makes sense.
like Ayurveda.
Okay, so let's get into the study. What was their methodology? How did they go about this?
Okay, so it was a prospective, single-arm, multi-center study
Mm-hmm.
with 246 participants.
Okay.
All of them had pre-existing CAD,
Oh.
and they followed them for 90 days,
Okay.
put them on a specific Ayurveda-based diet kit.
Hmm.
High in protein, low in carbohydrates,
Okay.
really high ORAC value,
Oh, wow.
64,000 units a day.
64,000.
Yeah,
That's got to be
that's huge.
15 times the average person.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that must have played a huge role just flooding their system with antioxidants.
It very likely did.
Right.
And they used CCTA imaging,
Uh,
which is non-invasive,
Yeah.
to analyze the plaque volume and its composition before and after the 90 days.
Before and after. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Were there any,
Yeah.
I don't know, unexpected findings? Or stuff that surprised you about the results?
The results were honestly pretty impressive all around.
Really?
Yeah, they saw significant reductions in weight and BMI.
Always good.
Always a good sign.
Yeah.
But even more importantly, their cholesterol levels improved.
Oh, wow.
Like their total cholesterol, triglycerides, LDL cholesterol.
That's amazing.
All went down significantly.
Right.
And those are
Yeah.
key risk factors for CAD.
So the diet was definitely having an impact.
It was.
Okay. But what about the plaque itself?
Mm-hmm.
Did they see changes there?
They did.
Oh.
Significant reductions in
Yeah.
fibrotic, fibrofatty,
Mm.
and overall soft plaque volume.
Wow.
And when they looked at the total atheroma volume,
Okay.
it had decreased by an average of 13.26%.
That's pretty remarkable, honestly.
It's really good.
For just 90 days, too.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, how sustainable
Wow.
this diet would be
Mhm.
long term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. And the study didn't really look at the long-term
Yeah.
sustainability. So
Right.
that would be something interesting to look at.
Yes.
But what's really interesting here is that reducing soft plaque
Okay.
is considered really crucial for plaque stabilization
Interesting.
because soft plaque is more prone to rupturing.
Okay.
So that's the dangerous kind.
So they saw positive changes in the dangerous stuff
Exactly.
in that short time frame.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, while the total calcified volume decreased too,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't statistically significant.
Okay.
And calcified plaque, that's generally considered more stable.
Yeah.
So the good stuff went down, the not so bad stuff stayed the same.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We've talked about the diet, but you mentioned Panchakarma therapies
Right.
earlier.
Uh-huh.
Can you run me what those are again?
So Panchakarma is like a core concept in Ayurveda.
Okay.
It involves like a series of
Mm.
cleansing and detoxification procedures. So it's about getting rid of those accumulated toxins, restoring balance, promoting healing.
Okay.
The therapies themselves are tailored to
Oh, interesting.
individual needs.
Okay.
So they can include things like therapeutic massage, herbal enemas,
Mm-hmm.
steam baths,
Wow. Okay.
things like that.
So it's not just about the food.
No.
It's more holistic.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's about addressing deeper imbalances
Okay.
to help with healing.
This is all pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
I think before we go any further,
Sure.
let's explore this reverse diet kit
Okay.
in more detail.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it?
It's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very specific. Welcome back.
So before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty of this reverse diet kit,
Uh-huh.
I did want to go back to the Panchakarma therapy for a sec.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
you were talking about the personalized aspect. And I'm curious, like, how did they tailor the treatment to each person
That's a great question.
in this study?
It would have been interesting to see how they determined which therapies each person received, but
Okay.
unfortunately, the study didn't go into much detail
Yeah, they really
about the specifics.
elaborate on that.
Yeah, which is a bit of a missed opportunity.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because, like, how did they decide? Was it like
Right. How did they connect
else diagnosis
the individual's constitution?
or questionnaires?
Yeah, their health concerns with the chosen therapy.
Right, because even though they didn't say it in the study,
Right.
we know that in traditional Ayurvedic practice,
Exactly.
those things are often used to personalize it.
Yeah. It's not one size fits all.
It's not one size fits all.
And knowing those details
Yeah.
would give us a much clearer picture
Totally.
of how Panchakarma contributed to those outcomes.
Totally. So hopefully future research will
Yeah.
kind of delve into that.
Definitely.
Okay, well, let's shift gears back to that reverse diet kit.
Okay.
It sounds very like
Yeah,
high tech for something
it does.
based on ancient principles.
Right.
So what is it exactly?
So it basically provided
Okay.
pre-portioned food products
Okay.
for a complete daily meal plan.
Wow.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Wow.
They even had like soup and early morning options.
That's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, around 1,000 calories a day.
Okay.
So slight calorie deficit.
Okay, so that explains the weight and BMI reduction.
Exactly.
1,000 calories seems kind of low, though.
Yeah.
Did they mention
It is.
whether people felt satisfied
That's a good point.
or were they hungry all the time?
They don't actually mention any feedback from
Wow.
the participants on how they felt.
Interesting.
But they do mention that the diet was like
Oh.
meticulously calibrated to meet.
Specific caloric and
Right.
macronutrient requirements.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if there's something about that combination of foods.
Right.
Maybe the emphasis on whole, unprocessed ingredients.
It could be.
That might help with satiety, even on
Yeah.
a lower calorie intake.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something interesting to look at. Like,
Yeah.
compare it to a standard
Right.
1,000-calorie diet
Exactly.
of processed foods, you know?
Yeah, I think that would be a valuable
Mhm.
addition.
Yeah, and you just mentioned processed foods, which brings us to another crucial element of this
The
reverse diet kit.
It's the OAC value.
Yeah, that's 64,000
64,000.
we were talking about before.
Huge.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
like exotic ingredients or anything.
No.
Just
right.
good, wholesome food.
Just good, wholesome food with a high
Yeah.
antioxidant capacity.
Okay.
So, yeah, plenty of lean protein, healthy fats,
Okay.
fiber-rich vegetables.
Minimal processed foods, added sugars.
Yeah.
And of course, lots of fruits and vegetables and spices that
Right.
are known for their
Yeah.
antioxidant properties.
Yeah.
Berries, leafy greens,
Yeah.
turmeric, ginger, you name it.
Turmeric and ginger.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It aligns with
It does.
what we know about healthy eating anyway.
It does.
But even though the principles seem pretty straightforward,
Uh,
I imagine it takes a lot of effort to actually
it does.
put a diet like this together.
Yeah.
That's where this prepackaged kit
Right.
probably came in handy for the study participants.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that raises another interesting point for
Right.
future research.
Yeah.
How can we make these types of diets more accessible and sustainable for people?
Right. Exactly.
Because even if we know what to eat, the practical aspects of it,
Right.
meal planning, grocery shopping, cooking, it can be a lot.
It could be. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. There's a big difference between knowing and doing.
Exactly.
Maybe they could adapt this kit
Uh-huh.
for real world use somehow,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I mean, they could.
like meal plans or recipes
Yeah,
or
please.
even
Okay.
partnering with like food delivery services
Right.
and having healthier options
Yeah, those are great ideas.
based on these principles.
Yeah, it's about bridging the gap
Yeah.
between research and real life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So we've covered the reverse diet kit,
yeah.
touched on the Panchakarma therapies,
Mm-hmm.
but they also emphasized
Right.
lifestyle changes, right?
They did. Yeah.
Like
things like sleep.
sleep regulation,
Yeah, sleep
stress management, regular walks in nature.
Yeah.
I mean, those might seem small,
Right.
but I'm guessing they played a role in the success too.
I think they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, those lifestyle elements, they likely contributed to the overall well-being,
Okay.
which then also impacts heart health.
Makes sense.
We know chronic stress is bad for the cardiovascular system.
Right.
Getting enough sleep allows the body to repair
Yeah,
and rejuvenate,
for sure.
and spending time in nature.
Yeah.
It's good for physical and mental health.
So it really is about holistic approach, right?
It is, yeah.
It's not just,
It's about addressing the whole person.
yeah, you're not
You're not just focusing on one isolated aspect.
targeting the heart.
Exactly.
It's about the whole body.
And that's a key principle
Yeah.
of Ayurveda.
And a lot of traditional systems.
And a lot of traditional systems,
Yeah.
recognizing that interconnectedness between our physical,
Right.
mental, and emotional well-being.
This has been incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
I'm curious now to shift to the bigger picture.
Okay.
What are the broader implications
Yeah.
of this research for heart health?
That's a good question.
This study really makes you think,
Yeah,
like, what else are we missing
it really does.
when it comes to heart health?
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting to see
Yeah, it is.
modern research starting to back up
Mm-hmm.
these ancient traditions.
It is. It is exciting.
Yeah.
It's also a little humbling, too. I mean,
Yeah.
Ayurveda has been around for
Right.
thousands of years.
Right.
We're just starting to kind of
Just scratching the surface.
scratch the surface, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine what else is out there if
Oh.
we really put the resources
Yeah,
into
I do.
studying
Yeah.
these traditional systems.
Maybe we've been a little too focused on the magic bullet approach.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
It seems like this study shows
Yeah.
real lasting change requires a more holistic approach.
Yeah. It's not just
Addressing all the
taking a pill.
multiple factors that contribute.
It's about
Health and disease.
lifestyle changes,
Absolutely.
addressing imbalances.
Yeah. It's not about popping a pill.
Yeah.
It's about making those changes.
Nourishing your body
Addressing the imbalances.
Yeah.
Nourishing the body.
with the right things.
Yeah.
It can be intimidating for some people, though.
It can.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, where do you even start
That's
with Ayurveda?
That's true. I mean,
With Ayurveda,
it can be.
overwhelming, yeah.
It can. I would say start small.
Okay.
Don't try to do it all at once.
Yeah.
Incorporate
Fire.
one or two simple practices
Yeah, like what?
into your routine.
Yeah.
Um,
Give us an example.
maybe swap out those processed snacks
Okay.
for some fresh fruits and vegetables.
Okay, so simple swaps.
Yeah, simple swaps.
Yeah. Okay.
Add some turmeric and ginger to your
Yes.
meals.
I like it.
Experiment with different spices.
Mhm.
See what you like.
All
Even
right.
adding like a short walk
Okay.
in nature to your day
Makes a difference.
can make a big difference.
Okay, what about the Panchakarma therapies?
Yeah, so Panchakarma therapies, they're really powerful,
Yeah.
but they're best done under the guidance of a qualified practitioner.
Okay, so not for everybody.
Not for everybody, right?
Right.
They can assess your individual needs.
Okay.
So if you're interested, I would do some research,
Okay.
find a reputable practitioner in your area,
Okay, yeah.
make sure they're properly trained
Right.
and experienced.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're wrapping up here.
Yeah.
What are some key takeaways
hmm
you want listeners to have from this deep dive?
I think the biggest takeaway is
Okay.
this study shows that
Yeah.
Ayurveda-based interventions
Mm-hmm.
can be really effective
Okay.
for coronary artery disease.
Okay.
The combination of this specific diet,
Mhm.
Panchakarma therapy, and lifestyle changes
Led to significant improvement.
led to those improvements,
Yeah.
in plaque buildup.
It's a good reminder
It is.
that we don't always have to
Right.
reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much wisdom
We can learn
from these
traditional systems that have been
Yeah.
around for
They've stood the test of time.
centuries.
Yeah.
This study should be a springboard
For future research.
for more exploration.
I'm excited to see
I know.
where it all goes.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about our next deep dive.
Me too, me too.
Maybe we'll explore
Yeah.
another area where traditional
Where they intersect.
practices and modern science intersect.
I love it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's time to resurface
Yes, it is.
from this deep dive into the world of Ayurveda
Yeah.
and heart health.
It's been a pleasure
It has.
exploring this research with you.
Thank you for joining us on the deep dive.
Of course.
We'll see you next time
See you next time.
for another plunge into the depths of knowledge.